Have you ever felt like what you're doing doesn't matter? That your efforts are invisible? No one sees, no one cares. There was once an old man who knew exactly how that felt. He lived in a dying village where nothing grew and no one believed things could change. People mocked him, ignored him, even called him crazy. But he kept showing up every single day, not to prove them wrong, but to prove to himself that even in silence, a life could still echo for generations. This is the story of Galen, the old man who planted trees he'd never sit under. Once upon a time, in the forgotten land of Thalara, there lived a man named Galen. He was in his late 60s, thin, gray-bearded, with calloused hands and a quiet gaze. His village had been in drought for decades. The wells were dry, the soil cracked, the young had moved to the cities, and the old waited in silence for the end, but not Galen. Every morning, he walked miles into the forest with a bag of acorns, a wooden staff, and a flask of water. He didn't tell anyone what he was doing. He just disappeared at sunrise and returned at sunset, dirt on his hands. People started talking. He's too old to be wandering like that. He's probably lost his mind. Why bother? This land is cursed. And when they asked what he was doing, he simply said, planting a forest. They laughed. You'll be dead before any of those trees grow. What good is a forest that you'll never see? And Galen answered, not everything I do is for me. But inside, he wrestled with doubt. Some nights he stared at the dry stars, wondering if he was just a fool trying to outrun death with dreams. One day, as he knelt to plant another acorn, his knees gave out. He collapsed. There was no one around. His hands trembled, tears mixed with dust. He almost gave up. Then he saw a sprout, a single green shoot piercing through the cracked earth. He whispered, "You're here." And for the first time in years, Galen smiled with hope. From that day, he didn't just plant, he nurtured. He started building a small irrigation channel with stones. He carried water from miles away. He protected saplings from wild goats using thorn fences, and still, people mocked him. But one child noticed, then two. Soon, a group of young boys began following Galen, helping carry water, digging with sticks, laughing as they worked. Without meaning to, he became a teacher, and without realizing it, he gave them purpose. Years passed. Galen grew older and slower, but by the time he took his final walk to the forest, the land was green. Not lush, but alive. Birds returned, grass grew, shade cooled the once barren hills. When Galen passed, they buried him under the tallest oak, the first tree he ever planted. And the children, they kept planting, because now they believed. Sometimes the greatest things we do in life aren't for applause. They're for legacy, for faith, for love, for the next soul who walks the path after us. Galen never saw the forest he dreamed of, but because of him, others will sit in shade he never knew. If this story moved you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and tell me how you're bringing hope into your own life, no matter the obstacles. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to MGS Stories. My name is Rahman, and here we bring wisdom to fuel your modern-day journey. Remember, you may not see the results today, but every good seed you plant is growing beneath the surface. Keep planting.